So this is 2025, and this year will be going stronger, more powerful, more awesome, and way better than what we did in 2024. This year we are starting it. I don't know what to say, but men expect a lot. Expect something very wonderful. So we are beginning the year with formulation guide for 20 liters high quality white screening putty. 20 liters high quality white screening putty. Now, without wasting time, this is how this video is going to look like. We are going to begin it according to how it's written here, beginning with water, Genapol, deformer, titanium dioxide, acrylic, calcium carbonate, nitrosol, biocide, and ammonia. So, for those persons who don't know what screening putty actually is, screening putty is like the ready to use screening, how will I call it, screening paint, like to level the wall, to make the wall hyper smooth. And this one is ready to use. Like you don't have to maybe get a special kind of emulsion and then mix white cement or black cement and then maybe add up top bond and all those other stuff. No, this one is ready to use. As you open it from the bucket, you just scoop it directly and you plaster your wall and the wall become extremely smooth. Like this wall you have here, this wall was created before the paint. So you see the wall is hyper smooth. So after screening the wall like this, that's when they now put all those premium quality paint. That's when all those expensive paints can now stand well on the wall. So this is just to elevate the value, the aesthetic value of the wall, just to make the wall smoother than how let me say the best or the smoothest plaster can make it look. This is what screening putty does. So we are going to be doing 20 liters of high quality white screening putty. So you can make screening putty in any color, but this one is white screening putty, and that's why you see titanium dioxide here. Titanium dioxide is mostly comes in white. So let's begin. Let's go.
Okay, so we'll begin the production process. We'll begin by subtracting the weight of the container. So you do that by pressing the tar button. Everything gets subtracted rather, and we have the container. So the next first content we are putting is water. So water, according to our formulation, is measured at 4 kg. So we have to ensure that it's accurately or precisely measured. So 4 kg. So if we have to subtract water or add, we subtract or we add to make sure that we have the precise measurement we are working with. So this is the water being turned into the container. This is a container for the production, and this is the machine you are seeing here. So the next chemical we are putting is Genapol. Genapol is a wetting agent. Like it's what makes the surface wet enough, like so as to reduce surface tension. This is the Genapol. It's a surfactant. It helps to reduce surface tension so that the paint will flow very well on the surface, or spread very well on the surface. So that's what Genapol does. So we're using 250 grams for this formulation. So we have to measure and ensure that it's accurately measured. So we have a little bit above 250. That's like 2 grams extra. 2 grams extra can be ignored. So this is Genapol. Genapol is more like a soapy chemical. So when you put Genapol, you have to mix it together with the water. What Genapol does is that it induces foam. So as you can see plenty of foam in the mixture. So the foam bubbles is like Genapol is inducing foam bubbles in the formulation. So what we do to make sure that these foam bubbles are not entrapped in this formulation, we have to deform it. We have to cut down the foam. We have to kill the foam. So we do that by adding deformer. So deformer here in this, according to our formulation, is 200 grams. So we have to measure it accurately. This 200 grams is 180, 192, 194, 196. So I think we are almost getting our right or accurate measurement. This is 200 grams. So everything has to be done accordingly. So we have to put it inside the formulation and then mix them together. See, as you are mixing, you are seeing that the foam that was entrapped is being cut down. You can see it physically with your eyes. So the foam will not be trapped or entrapped into the formulation again. That's what the deformer does. That's what deformer does. So after deformer, now we are using titanium. We are adding titanium dioxide into the formulation. Titanium dioxide we're using right now is Chronos titanium dioxide. It's because we want the formulation to be white. That's why we're using titanium. The Screeding Putty or the product, the end product to be white, very white. That's why we're using titanium dioxide. We're using 200 grams. If you want it whiter, you can increase it a bit further to 250, 300, or even 500 grams. But 200 grams is okay because the calcium carbonate we will use at the end will be a very white calcium carbonate. So when you add 200 grams, everything becomes whiter or brighter. Actually, titanium dioxide helps for opacity, but for a screening putty doesn't really need opacity like that because it comes in bulk. It's applied in bulk quantity on the surface. So titanium dioxide has been added. So the next thing we are putting on is acrylic. Acrylic. So the brand of acrylic we are using is Sinapol. Sinapol SPC 686C. It's a styrene acrylic. I think from my research, it's about 45% solid content. That's why I'm opting for that. I can still decide to use acrylic of about 50% solid content. Acrylic is made with both solid and liquid content. So the higher the solid content of the acrylic, I think the better the acrylic. But this is a styrene acrylic though. The styrene property has very solid properties that makes the bonding power stronger than other types of acrylic. So we have to ensure that it is 3 kg because 3 kg is what we are using for the formulation. So we have to ensure that it's 3 kg. Even if it exceeds a little, it doesn't mean though. We just want to make sure that we are following the measurement we have given precisely. This is the acrylic being poured into the mixture. So we have to ensure that everything enters inside accurately and everything is homogeneously mixed together. So when you put a particular chemical, you mix them all together so that everything will be homogeneously mixed before you add up the next chemical. As you're adding up to, you're mixing everything all together. The goal is to just make sure that everything is homogeneously mixed. Yeah, so this is the acrylic being mixed, and I think it's okay now. So the next this thing we are doing now is to add up calcium carbonate. So this is me washing my hands back. I will make sure I use this water at the end of the day, so the acrylic content in the container doesn't get wasted. This is the container I will use to mix my thickener or relogifier because I'm using nitrosol as a relogifier. So I'll make sure I use this water at the end of the day to mix up my thickener or relogifier as as you may understand. So this is to subtract the weight of the container. So after that, the next this thing we are putting now is calcium carbonate. Just like I said, we're using Freedom Calcium. Freedom Calcium is, I think, one of the best selling calcium carbonates in Nigeria. As we go further in creating content, I think I'll explain calcium carbonate to you because we have different types of calcium carbonate. We have ground calcium carbonate, we have precipitated calcium carbonate. But in most formulations like this or production like this, we use ground calcium carbonate, which is calcium carbonate filler or Freedom calcium carbonate filler like we have in Nigeria. Yeah. It's like one of the best selling calcium carbonates in Nigeria. Yeah. It's among the GCC grouping, ground calcium carbonate grouping. So we have to make sure it's 24 kg. So once it's 24, you can then add it back to the formulation. So everything must be accurately measured because we are working with precision in the formulation. Everything has to be accurate. So this is the calcium being added into the formulation or into the mixture, however you may understand it. This is to make sure that everything is properly added without it wasting. So I took my time. It's mixing while I'm adding. It's mixing while I'm adding. So I have to make sure that this is properly mixed. This particular paint has a bulk volume of calcium. I think calcium is the major content of this screening putty. Calcium is the major content of screening putty, and that's what you use to do the leveling part of your surface or of your screened surface. Yes, this is what actually gives us, or let me say, this is the highest um, bulk of content that comes into production of screening putty, apart from other additives. So we have to ensure that everything is homogeneously mixed. So as you can see, I have to spend quality time mixing it very well. So after that, I think the next this thing we are putting on is Natrosol. Natrosol is a rologifier. Rologifier is what makes sure that the paint is either is what controls the thickness or the fluidness of the formulation. But for this, it makes the formulation thicker. So that's why we call it thickener too. Also, Natrosol is a thickener. So after putting Natrosol, you pre-mix it separately. Mix it in water that is not too much or not too small. That can help it mix separately before adding it to the formulation. So this is this thing being mixed. I told you the water for the acrylic that I washed off the container, so that I'm using to mix it, and then I'm turning it inside the formulation. So everything is being mixed so that it will help to make the paint thick. That's the major function of this. It is secondary, but it also acts as a secondary binder. So it brings every other content together and make sure the paint sticks. So at this point here, we have to add up our preservative, and the preservative we are using is Acticide. So it's an in-can preservative. So we have to make sure it's 100 gram because that's what the formulation will require. That's what will preserve the shelf life, or let me see, the lifespan of the paint inside the can. So we have in-can preservative. We also have out-can preservative. Outside of the can, what makes the paint not to stay so well is things like algae, fungi, and so on. But inside the can, the paint needs to be preserved so that it doesn't get spoiled on time. So that when you open the paint, or you open the cover of the paint, everything is still okay. It doesn't smell bad, so on. So the next chemical we are putting down is ammonia. Ammonia is, and it's 30 grams we are using. Ammonia is used to control. It's majorly used for, let me say, two specific reasons: to control the pH value of the formulation, and to also it hasten the thickening process of the thickener. So one might ask, what is pH? pH is potential of hydrogen. Potential of hydrogen specifically is what helps to determine the acidity or the alkalinity of the formulation. Balances the acidity or alkalinity of the formulation. That's what pH is. So ammonia is used to balance the pH. By standard, a water-based paint like this is supposed to be around, let me say, 8 to 9.5. So 8.9.5, that's on the side of the alkaline. So it doesn't have to exceed the alkalinity too much. In our basic science, they taught us that 7 is neutral. From 1 to 6 is acid. From 7 is neutral. From 8 to I think about 12 or 14 or so is alkaline. So it has to be on the side of the alkaline, but not strong alkaline. So it has to be around 8 to 9.5. I think that at that ratio, the pH is okay, but the pH is balanced. I think as we create content and go, I will explain further what when your pH is not balanced, what it does. So the paint is set. Paint is set. And if this formulation is too expensive for you, I will drop my number on the screen right now so that I can give you a formulation that will be cheaper and still give you very good results. But that one is a bit, you have to pay cash for it. I'll give you a formulation that will be a bit cheaper because this formulation, I think it's a little bit, not so much, a little bit expensive. There are some clients that might want to price you low if you're producing paint for sale. Clients might want to price you low, and you just have to make sure you just have to stay in business and make money. So if you want that formulation, the number on the screen, my number is on the screen right now. So I will just DM me. I'll give you that formulation for a little price. So this is our Screeding Putty. Our Screeding Putty is set, and it's set, and it's set, and it's ready to be used to make your wall hyper smooth. Yeah, this is Everglitter Paint. Everglitter Paint is the name of my own brand. So if you want your walls to be screeded, we do screeding services, we do painting services,
Okay.
and we sell very good quality paint. So thank you so much for watching this video.
So I know you enjoyed this video. I want you to go back home, try it. Just go back to your factory or mini factory, however the factory is. Go back, try it, and apply this screening putty formulation you just learned on the wall. You will get a very perfect result. And this according to Nigerian price, is sold at think around 25 to 30,000 naira. Yeah, that's how expensive this is because it's a formulation that gives very perfect results. So go back home, try it, and then if you enjoyed the video, please and please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Please like our videos. Please comment on this. Put your thought in the comment section. Ask question, anything at all. Tell me your thoughts about this video. Ask any question. I will come down there and answer you. Please share it, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Please subscribe again, like the video, share it. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell and then comment. Thank you so much. My name is Seval Samele. I remain your number one paint production professional in Africa. I love you guys. Happy New Year.